Hi everyone, I'm Spicy Chef Mike 91, aka Mike. This is my first YouTube video ever. My first cooking video. I've been really into cooking lately. It's a welcome distraction from everything going on in the world. So I'm here hopefully to bring you some joy and bring some light to your day. At least that's what I'm gonna try to do. But for this first video, I'm making a Southern comfort meal. They're inspired by Dolly Parton. I'll get into the Dolly Parton cookbook in a minute, but I hope you enjoy. So this meal is really inspired by the Good Looking Cookin' cookbook by Dolly Parton and Rachel Parton George. I love Dolly Parton. She's just so wholesome. Oh gosh, not sponsored by Dolly Parton, but wouldn't that be amazing? Dolly Parton is my first video, but please sponsor me. I love you. Anyway, I love this cookbook because it's separated by months. And so it has a lot of holiday themed meals. And so I think that's really fun. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm gonna try out and definitely come back and check that out. So this is her fried chicken recipe. I'm loosely basing my fried chicken off of this. She used a whole chicken, but I'm only using 3 chicken breasts. So I'm basically just cutting the recipe in half. I also don't have a lot of the fresh herbs she has, but so I use a lot of like spice powders and stuff. So, and I added pickle juice. Also, I'm gonna make some oven roasted broccoli. It's a super simple broccoli recipe. All it is broccoli, garlic, salt, and some olive oil. Super easy. I'm also gonna make these whipped potatoes. These look really good. I'm very excited to make these. So I'm gonna make a buttermilk marinade for my fried chicken. And so I have all the ingredients here that I'm gonna put in this buttermilk marinade. To the side here, I have dashida, which is, it's like a Korean chicken seasoning. And then, yeah, so of course you're gonna need your buttermilk. I'm putting in some pickle juice. We got onion powder, Frank's Red Hot Original, garlic powder, some chili powder, that's smoked paprika. Throw in some salt and pepper. And we're gonna mix that all together and make a nice little marinade. All right, so I'm basically just gonna take everything, mix it all together. I'm not really measuring too much. And so just gonna pour some buttermilk in the bowl, throw in some pickle juice. Then put in some hot sauce. Just a little bit. All right, then we're gonna take some dashida. Now I am measuring this just because it's really salty, so I'm gonna do half a teaspoon of the dashida. Highly recommend, it's really, really good. Throw in some onion powder, and this is just me struggling to like film with one hand. Eventually gonna get a tripod. We're gonna be professional over here for sure. And then throw in some garlic powder. I like garlic. That was me struggling to get the cap off with the smoked paprika, and also me struggling to like pour it. Normally, you can like twist the little cap and it comes out really easily, but you know, only have one hand available at this moment. All right, and then here comes the chili powder. Okay, so we are gonna measure the salt, just about half a teaspoon of salt. We don't wanna make it too salty. And then last, just throw in some black pepper. And just mix it, mix it, mix it. Okay, so the last thing I'm gonna do for this marinade is throw in 1 egg. I have a Ziploc bag, one of the gallon bags. I have 3 chicken breasts in here. And then I'm gonna pour in the buttermilk marinade. You can see me spill a little, and then I had to cut because I was struggling. So here we have the chicken breast, and it's all smothered in that buttermilk marinade. We're gonna put it in the fridge for a few hours, and we're gonna cook it later. All right, so I did a few things off camera, aka I made my seasoning mix. So I put in some flour, cornstarch, I put in some dashira, which is that chicken stock. A lot of the same seasonings as before: chili powder, cayenne pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, black pepper, smoked paprika, and just mix that all together. All right, so I learned recently from watching Worst Cooks in America, ironically, that you can use a Dutch oven as a fryer. So I got my Le Creuset Wicked Glinda Dutch oven, love it. And I filled it about 1/3 of the way, a little closer to half of the way, full of canola oil. And we're gonna heat that to 350 degrees to fry the chicken. So I put my flour mixture onto this plate so I could easily bread the chicken. And then once we get all that breaded, we're gonna pop it in the fryer. And then right here, I know it's super messy, but you know, sometimes you get a little messy when you're making fried chicken. You know, flour goes everywhere. So I'm just packing in this last little bit, these like little places that look a little skimpy. We are packing those in, and then I just have to let you hear the sound of the chicken frying. Ooh, that looks so good. Okay, so now we're gonna do our roasted broccoli. Again, super simple. All I have 2 garlic cloves in here, and then I'm gonna mix that with some kosher salt and EVOO, extra virgin olive oil. I'm laying that out onto a pan, just evenly. I know it doesn't look that pretty, but it is what it is. And then we're gonna pop that into the oven at 400 degrees for about 12 minutes. Okay, so here is the broccoli. When I set a timer, I don't think I set the timer, so I kind of I think I was a little off with my timing, but I just wanted to make sure it didn't start burning with the garlic and everything, which I think it did a little bit, but it still tasted really good. So now I have 4 yellow potatoes in a pot with some cold water, and I threw in about a teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna boil those, and then once they're fork tender, I'm gonna whip them up. So now that the potatoes are done, I'm just using my hand mixer, really get in there to whip up those potatoes. So now what I've done is I've thrown in about 1/4 of a cup of half and half with 1/4 of a cup of salted butter. And we're just gonna whip that all together. And here's pretty much the finished product. I threw in a little bit of extra salt and topped with some pepper and a little dab of butter. Okay, now it's time for dessert. So you can see I already have a cake here. And what this is a strawberry tres leches cake, okay? I was very excited. It was really simple. All I did was I used the Dolly Parton strawberry cake mix, again, staying on theme. And I just baked it per the package instructions. And then I added 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, 1 can of evaporated milk, and 2 cups of whole milk, and just dumped all that in and I let it set overnight. So we are gonna make a strawberry vanilla whipped cream frosting to put on this Tres Leches cake, and I'm very excited about that. So I got some powdered sugar, cornstarch, strawberry extract, vanilla extract, and heavy whipping cream. So I put all of that in a bowl. I used 1 pint of the heavy cream. I put 5 heaping tablespoons of the powdered sugar, and then 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, and then 1 teaspoon of both the strawberry and vanilla extract each. And then I'm just gonna whisk that up, starting on the lowest setting, going up to high halfway through until we get this nice, really thick consistency, so that when I pull out the whisk, it just stays right there. And so now I just put all of that over the cake. I know it looks a little bit messy, but we're just gonna clean it up as we go along, you know. I have a pound of cut up strawberries. I may not use them all. And then we're just gonna put them on the cake like this. Until you have this beautiful Tres Leches cake. I know it's not that pretty. It looks a bit, you know what, we're gonna call it rustic, okay? This is a rustic cake. Here's a piece of the cake. Oh, I know it's not a pretty, it's not really a pretty piece, but so good. And here's the final product. I did add coleslaw, which I made yesterday. All I did was take a bag of coleslaw mix, some Marzetti coleslaw dressing, threw in a little salt and pepper, and that's it. But oh my gosh, this was so good and it was so comforting. The only thing I would change is I would add more salt to the flour mixture for the chicken. But other than that, everything was so good and ate really good tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please like and subscribe and be a part of this YouTube journey that I'm going on. I know that sounds cliche, but you know, it is what it is. Bye.